I finished 3 daily October drawing challenges this year, 93 drawings, and what did I learn? Well, for one, I'm pretty sure I won't be doing 4 challenges next October, but also I really enjoyed trying to follow a theme or a feel through a set of drawings. And this year's Inktober prompts were pretty good as far as a fit for me in this regard. And more so because they also worked well with the critters and the outdoor scenes that I've been working on lately. And I worked on a couple other challenges, a Wordle one of my own and the Art Hang Party Tober. Those were also a lot of fun. If we haven't met before, hey there, hello, I am Brian. I am so glad to have you with me here today. I am joined by some gorgeous stickers from my friend Isabelle. And if you like flora and fauna, you will enjoy the art she has on her channel and a new online shop. I'm going to get right into these Inktober drawings, starting off with one that I forgot to include in the last video, which was covering the first half of the month, with the theme of hike. And yes, I know it was probably intended to produce a drawing of backpacks and walking sticks, but I got this image in my head of a little ram or a mountain goat hiking up a steep cliff. Not a backpack or a walking stick in view. And I think that's all right. And then moving on to October 15th, the theme was guidebook. And Rabbit here trying to figure out, well, I suppose, which is the path less traveled, maybe? Gonna go out for a little hike, walk, or something. Incidentally, that is a compass around his neck. This is not Flavor Flav's pet. I struggled a little bit with what to do with the word grungy. I've been trying to avoid drawing people in this series, and grungy doesn't seem to fit with animals, really. At least it didn't fit for me. But I figured a grungy old sweater worn by a snail might fit, though. I didn't plan it this way, but I'm looking at this now, and Kurt Cobain used to wear sweaters something like this, and I wonder if that kind of subliminally influenced this because of grunge and grungy. I don't know, something to think about. Next up, the journaling octopus. The most scholarly of the 8-limbed mollusks, always taking notes and doing daily affirmations and all that sort of stuff. Got a hand-stitched binding of the highest order on this journal, as you would expect from an exacting octopus such as this. Next up, drive. Sometimes you just gotta get somewhere a bit faster than you can move on your own. So, you get on the Turtle Express. And seeing these two together, I'm starting to wonder about my Inktober Bingo card. Yeah, hold on. Okay, so we already had the ram, the rabbit, snail, octopus, and I guess now we can add a turtle too. Woohoo! Coming along. Not too far from here in the Texas Hill Country, there is a place they call the Devil's Backbone. And that's a great name with lots of great imagery that can come to mind. But that's what came to mind when I saw the word ridge, because that's what the Devil's Backbone is. It's a long limestone ridge formation with all sorts of spooky and paranormal lore that is attached to it. So I decided to use the backbone of a dragon for this one. I do like this idea, even if it's not fully realized here, but yeah, I think I kind of like it anyway. And we get to mark dragon on the bingo card. For the prompt Uncharted, I decided to go extraterrestrial. I don't really know why, except for maybe I suppose most every place on Earth has been charted by some clever animal or two, but maybe not out there, wherever there is. I did notice that I drew the rabbit backwards if he's rowing a boat. Why I don't see these things before I ink them, I don't know. You know, there are a couple of the Inktober 2024 prompts that seem a bit out of place, and rhinoceros might be one of them. Now, I suppose it might fit into the whole camping, exploring thing, but it just seems kind of regional. But I don't mind because I like rhinoceroses, that's what I used to say, rhinoceros. They're fun to draw. And I snuck in a ladybug because why not? I am determined to win Inktober Bingo after all. A 2-for-1 special. Next up on the list, camp. And here we've got a couple pals relaxing and literally cooling heels next to their campsite. You know, to me, this is the perfect way to end a day of camping. You know, after you explore all day, just resting under the stars. Very, very pleasant and relaxing. But in the morning, you're still gonna want some coffee. And if your coffee maker has rusted, you are in trouble. Oh, look at this little guy. Totally knackered and bleary-eyed. I feel sorry for him. I'm sort of surprised that was my first squirrel of the set. Anyway, we had a bear, a frog, and a squirrel. We've had discover, trek, hike, and now expedition. And some of these words are a bit difficult to differentiate in a drawing, but it did seem to me that an expedition was like a trek, but it had a specific destination in mind. So I decided to reprise the mushroom forest that I've done in a few other pieces this summer. And I know that looks like a person, but I said I wasn't going to do people, so you probably don't know this, but that is Bigfoot, and he has just slimmed down quite a bit. So you have Bigfoot, you have a cat and a mouse, and they're just taking an expedition to the mushroom forest. Prove to me otherwise. And then there was another kind of odd one for the list, Scarecrow. And I ended up really liking this one. Compositionally, I was a bit limited because of the shape of the paper. So I kind of drew this sort of short half scarecrow kind of thing. But I ended up really loving it. The little details on the shirt and the tie and everything. Yeah, it's kind of charming to me. Okay, so there's no Bigfoot on the bingo card, but we have cat and a mouse and a crow. Oh, I'm so close to a bingo, I can just taste it. I wonder what I'll win if I do. Camera. So I was thinking, in some lore, vampires don't reflect their image on a mirror. And in my mind, I was thinking, oh, well, you know, some cameras use mirrors. And I thought, well, then you couldn't take a picture of a vampire either. But if you used a mirrorless camera, maybe you could. And that is what I was thinking, but, you know, I don't always think all the way through these things. And I failed to consider the fact that the mirror is just for the viewfinder. So the whole premise of this drawing is null. And why a ghost, I don't know. Well, actually, I do know, but it was for another idea. Oh man, I need a do-over for this drawing here. I had a simple idea for the prompt road, and I kind of like it. Not much to say other than, yep, that's a road. That's it. And for the word jumbo, I wanted to draw a contrast between two similar things in different sizes. In this case, a little lazy lizard and a large lizard, maybe even a dragon. I don't really know. I'm not sure that it's obvious enough what I was trying to do with this, but that was the idea. All right, navigator. This one was like trying to get blood out of a turnip. You know, you ever try to do a drawing and you spend far too long on it trying to figure out what you're going to do, and oh geez, yeah, that's this one. I mean, I guess one of the armadillos is the navigator, pointing the way, consulting the shadows. I probably should have left out the armadillo-esque formation in the background, because navigating there looks like it's pretty simple and honestly is pretty unnecessary for this story. I give it 2 out of 5 stars, but we did like the appearance of the armadillo. We should be doing pretty well on our bingo card. Let's consult that after this very strange prompt. Violin. Now, is it just me, or does this not fit the feel of the rest of the month? I mean, violin. I suppose maybe someone is bringing their violin on their trek through the wilderness. And, you know, maybe this guy might. I don't know. I like this little dude. He's got a pal here that I drew for a Wordle prompt who plays guitar. Or, well, actually, that might be a ukulele. Well, whatever it is, these two are sure to make some memorably sad autumnal music. Oh, I like them. Maybe I'll get them together sometime and, you know, on another drawing, or maybe stickers or something. I don't know. We'll see. Let's catch ourselves up with the bingo card, and we can place our bets. So we had this guy, a little lizard. We can mark that one. And what else did we have? Okay, we had the armadillo. Yeah. Actually, there's several armadillos, but I only get to mark one. And I think the only other one we had was this frog, which we've already marked. Well, we have a few places we could win. Cicada, potato beetle, bonobo, dog, or unicorn. All right, are you the betting sort? No money on the line, only pride and maybe fireworks or fruitcake or something. Who knows? Well, let's check out the last drawing. Landmark was the last prompt of the month, and woohoo! Potato beetle! Okay, admit it. When you woke up this morning, you did not expect to see a potato beetle drawing today. So there's that surprise for you. But there is a reason for this. The film Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Richard Dreyfuss is in there, and he's compelled to make a plate of mashed potatoes into the form of this landmark, which is Devil's Tower National Monument in Wyoming. It's a really great scene, and actually it's a great monument. It's really beautiful out there. Anyway, I figured maybe the potato beetle saw the movie and thought, ooh, yum, 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 mashed potatoes, and made a trek out there. I don't know. I can believe that this would happen. And you can say yes or no. And you know what? For winning the Inktober Bingo thing, let's all go out for some mashed potatoes or, ooh, potato pancakes. Haven't had those in a while. Thank you so much for joining me today. And if you want to support me in this channel, I always appreciate a like, a subscription, or a positive comment. And there are lots of other drawings from this October that you might want to check out. I always hope to inspire some creativity, share some joy, and to make some new art friends. Thank you so much for joining me on this funky old channel. And until next week, bye-bye.